All right, in this video we are learning about domain and range. You may have heard these words before, maybe not, but I'm going to re-explain them to you. So, domain is a list of all of the x values in a function. All of the x values, and really it doesn't have to be a function, it could be a relation. So it might not pass the vertical line test, but we can still list out the x values. So right now for domain and range, it doesn't matter if it's a function or not. And so when we write out domain, we're gonna put a D there, D for domain. And we use our curly brackets. I can usually do the left one pretty good. My right one looks pretty bad, but it's okay. So our domain, when we write out, and I want you to make this note, when you list your domain, you want to list the numbers in order from least to greatest. Sometimes in your table or in the list or in the mapping, they're not going to be smallest to largest. But when you write out the domain, it needs to be least to greatest. So for our domain, I'm just going to list the x values. -1, 0, 4, 5, and 6. And that's it. Range, if you take a wild guess, you're probably going to say, well, range is probably a list of all of the y values. And just like with domain, you need to list it smallest to largest, or least to greatest. Put an R for range. -9, -8, -5, -2, and 3. That is the range. So for these examples we're going to list the domain and range, and we're going to tell if it's a function or not. And remember, for it to be a function, the x values do not repeat. Okay? So domain, list the x values, smallest to largest, -3, 0 to 5. Range, list the y values. As I'm looking through this list, I see that I have a 7 on there twice. Anytime you have a number repeat, you don't write it twice. You only have to write a number one time. So 2, 6, 7. Is this a function? We only look at the x values, and it is, yes, it's a function because all of the x values are different. Number 2, try number 2 on your own. Pause the video, fill this out, and then play the video. Domain is, that was ugly. Domain, -1, 1, 8. Range, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is it a function? No, it is not, because the ones repeat. Right, number 3, this is a mapping. It doesn't really, you don't really have to think about, okay, well, -6 is paired with 2. That doesn't really matter because we switch up the order anyway because we list them least to greatest. So for these, those arrows don't matter. We're just going to list the numbers, the x's for domain, -6, -1, 5, 7. The range, -9, 2, 3. Whoa. All right. Is it a function? Yes. All of those numbers on the x's only had one arrow, so they only went to one y. Number 4, domain, -8, 4, 6. Range, -5, 0, 1, 6. Is it a function? No, because that -8, the x, was paired with both -5 and with 6.